Hi, my name's Zara, and I have this real fascination with vampires. Every Halloween since I can remember, I've always begged my mom to let me dress up as a vampire. I was never interested in being a witch or a cat or a zombie. I just wanted to be a vampire. I read the Twilight books when I was only 10 years old and dreamt of one day being like Bella Swan. I'm also super into the Vampire Diaries and even that old school TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The older I get, the more I realize that maybe I actually have got what it takes to become a vampire. I'm super pale for starters. I mean like ghostly pale. And I do have slightly pointy teeth. And guys, this bit is so weird, but I'm properly allergic to garlic. So I feel like I'm halfway there. The kids at school always tease me and call me goth girl, but they're pretty stupid. I mean, I'm not a goth, I'm a vampire. Well, a wannabe vampire anyway. I speak to some friends online who also want to be vampires, but they all live in Germany and Romania. I wish I could go live in Europe one day. That's where most of the vampires seem to be. I had been searching for a more local community, and one day, I found what I was looking for. It seemed like there was a group nearby, but every time I tried to get more info, it was like getting stuck at a dead end. They seemed to be really top secret. I searched and searched, and eventually I found a forum. One guy there gave me the info. Jackpot! In the next town over, there were a group of about 12 other teens who got together once a week to have meetings. I couldn't believe it! I reached out to them, and they replied straight away, inviting me along to the next meeting. All I had to do was give them the password that the guy had given me on the forum, and I was in. I was so excited for that first meeting. It took place at this hut in a forest on the outskirts of town. It was dark when I arrived, and I felt a bit scared, but I had to pretend I was fine or they'd think I wasn't for real. Vampires don't get scared. I walked in and took a seat next to this super skinny tall guy. He just happened to be the leader, and he asked me to stand up and prepare for my initiation. I thought maybe I'd just need to introduce myself, but there was more to it than that. Anyway, I don't really want to go into details because it was a bit graphic and it involved blood. But I did it, and I was initiated. During the next week, I found myself feeling less excited about the next meeting. Every time I thought about the people there, my stomach started to hurt. It didn't seem like being a vampire in real life was as cool as it was in the movies and books I loved. When the day arrived for the next meeting, I still went along because I didn't want them to think I was a chicken. When I arrived, there was a coffin lying outside. They told me that there was one step left in my initiation process. That if I really wanted to be a part of their community, I had to spend the night sleeping in the coffin, half buried underground. I laughed. Surely they were joking, but they weren't. The leader picked me up and made me lie down in the coffin, then they shut the lid. I couldn't breathe. Suddenly, I realized this wasn't the life I wanted. I loved the mystery of the vampire world, but actually being one wasn't all it was cracked up to be. These people were evil. And as I lay there, I heard them laughing and saying how I fell for it and who would their next target be. I started crying and tried to open the lid. They weren't even real vampires. I was really starting to panic, thinking I'd be stuck in there forever, when all of a sudden I heard my dad's booming voice. The next thing I felt was fresh air coming in, and then I saw my parents. I leaped into their arms and burst into tears. I kept saying I was so sorry for getting involved in something so ridiculous. They didn't care, they just kept hugging me. They said they'd followed me here because they were getting worried about me. My dad had called the cops from the car, so before the leader and the other members had a chance to get away, the cops pulled up and arrested them. It turns out the leader and 3 of the other vampires are actually a gang that the cops had been trying to hunt down for ages. They were so grateful to me for helping them find them, but also warned me never to get involved with groups like this again. A few of the other members had also been hurt by the gang and reported their cases to the cops too. Well, if I've learned anything from this, it's that we really need to be careful not to fall for this kind of scam. And also, maybe I don't want to be a vampire anymore. I'll just stick to watching them on TV. What did you think of this story? Please feel free to share your comments and stories in the comments section below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.